Hello again, I am Bob and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines Snowfall. And we've done a little bit of tweaking, just a little bit of tweaking since you were last here. So what I've done is I've started to put in another metro system. I haven't done very much so far, I've just literally dropped in a few stops. But somewhere around here, there is the start of a new line over here. I haven't completely figured out exactly where this is going to go yet, but you can see I've dropped in a stop here, and then a few stops over here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these up. I want to try and improve our transit options a little bit. We're still struggling to get workers over to the industrial estate, despite the changes to the metro system that we put in. We're still not getting any people really using that tram crossing, which is a little bit frustrating. Not entirely sure why that option is being completely ignored, and my only theory is that there's just not enough transport options to get people over to this area. So you can see we've got this metro line now split into two. We've got this part of the line that runs out to the airport tram hub over here, and then just cuts straight through and drops off at this point here. And while we are getting a lot of people using this, you can see people will get off the tram, off the subway. Most people then just cross onto a different platform. So we've got all these guys here on the opposite line. Speed time up a bit. We get a lot of people coming in wanting to use the lines, but we don't get many people coming out and then using the tram service. So here comes a stop, and everyone there, you see, just switches lines, switches platforms, and we get a load of people that come out, and none of them come down to the tram. I really don't understand why nobody is using this tram link at all. Yeah, so that's a little bit frustrating. Maybe I need to extend our tram route through our industrial park to maybe make that a little bit more of an appealing option. But we do have the metro system on the opposite side. So what I'm trying to do is trying to funnel people from further away that maybe still need to get a job over towards Cherry Park. So that's why I've built this line here, so that we can transfer people to and from the offices and the commercial district just here, but also it brings a nice stop close to our network over here. So I want to see if I can maybe squeeze in a tram line somewhere over here as well. So I can just about squeeze. That's right there, though. I don't really want to put it just there. This is quite tricky. There isn't really any space over here. As long as I can get it close to one of our subway tunnels, I suppose that would be the most important thing. So maybe, instead of doing that, maybe instead of trying to put another stop in, maybe we should just create a subway tunnel. Now we're going to be careful with this because we're going to end up causing some issues if we try and build over the top of our subway line. So we've got to make sure that the path is in the right place first of all. That is going to let us build there. Actually, it might let us build here. Let's try it. Yeah, it will actually let us build here. So if we plonk that there, what we can then do is connect this up to our path over there, like so. It's a little bit wonky, but it'll do. And now we have footpath access coming over to our trams over here. So hopefully that'll encourage people to start using the subway and then from the subway it'll also encourage them to move over to the tram network, and vice versa. So let's go ahead and actually plop in a metro line. So we're on the left hand side, so I want this to run out from here. What colour is that? Blue? Yeah, that'll do. It's running out to our commercial district, so that makes sense. And it's just going to tag the offices at the end there, and then loop its way back. And immediately you can hear all those houses pinging, and all those buildings pinging that are getting a boost from having a new transport link. You can see all these buildings down here redeveloping as well. Look, just look at them all go. I love watching and seeing that happen. Whenever we improve services in a location, the whole neighbourhood just immediately gets a huge boost. Buildings start getting upgraded. More people start moving into the area. More jobs are created. I do like to see and hear those pings. Right, so let's go to our transport view. And immediately, look how many people are using that service. And they're all using our footpath here as well. Look how many people are using it. They're coming off a tram and going, well, some are splitting and going into the district. Look at all these people here rushing down into our tram network. Let's follow these guys, see which way they branch off. Yeah, see, they're bypassing that bit there. They're coming out along here underneath the tram building. And they're almost all going this way, coming up here and going straight into our tram network. Look how busy this footbridge is now. This is insane. And here comes that wave of people, and some of them are using them to go onto this line. This is just now a real hub of activity. Huge volumes of people moving around all over the place, which is exactly what we wanted. We wanted a nice concentrated area for our people to move around in. So let's see, are we having a knock-on effect anywhere else? Still getting a lot of people over here, but we're still not getting anybody using our tram. So I think we need to do something with this tram line. Let's see, what can we do? Let's go to single track tram. Now where can I run this? How about I run it down here? This is where we're struggling to get some people in. How about I run a tram line over this way? So this is me just kind of theorising here, but what if I brought the line off? Actually, this would need to be a twin lane track, wouldn't it? Brought that along here like that, and then we'd need to build a passing loop over here. There we go, and then we can excuse me. Then we can put a stop in over here. So let's have a footpath cutting through like that. And now let's look at changing the route. So let's drag this stop over to here. Like so. And now I can take from here and actually create another stop there, like that. So now the tram will hit both sections of the loop. Of course, these ones are going to this one first because that was when this route was created. It was created while these trams were moving in this direction. So this one, hopefully, will actually go the right way on our route. Yes, so here we go. It's going to come in here. And we are getting a few people here. Not many, but a few. And then it's going to turn and come around here. Hit this stop. Now we are actually getting a few people on this one, so maybe this will actually improve our transport over here. And if it's really successful, then we could maybe look at moving this over into this section a bit as well. But we'll leave it like this for now. Let's check at this end. We are getting a couple of people starting to use the tram now. So it might be a knock-on effect from us. Oh, wow, look, all of a sudden there's a whole wave of people. And these are people coming off the subway. I think that extra stop that we've just put in over here has made a huge, huge difference. Now we're actually providing links to these businesses over here. I think that has made a massive difference. And all of a sudden, we've had a tram network that wasn't really doing anything at all to a tram network that is now providing a good commuter link. See if we get any people coming off at this stop. One or two people. We move over to the other stop. This one does seem to be a little bit busier. We can definitely see there's more people wanting to get on the tram just here. And there's a whole wave of people coming off. Now let's follow these guys and see where they're going. So the vast majority are coming back down this way. And then going to the metro, aren't they? See, why couldn't they do that here? I don't understand that. I don't get it. Sometimes the AI is just screwy as hell. I mean, look, they're here. They've... Ooh, damn it, I've just deleted a stop. Didn't mean to do that. They're here. They've got a pavement link. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the pavement link isn't good enough. Maybe there isn't actually a pavement link. Maybe if I do that... Alright, let's stay here and watch what happens now that we've put a proper pavement path in. Will that make a difference? I have to wait for the next round of people to make their way over the river. So here comes the first tram. You see, the people that are getting off here are going straight onto the metro. And then the rest of the people are going to the stop that's further away from the metro. And then, and then getting off there. And then running back. I just don't get it. I really don't. I mean, these people here, Now maybe the education is starting to come into it. You can see, a lot of people here now starting to use this metro system at this stop. Are we still getting people using it at the other stop as well? A lot less people getting off on that one. I think we just killed that stop. Very strange. Very strange indeed. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with our people here. Now they seem to be using this stop. So I guess that lack of pavement there was the issue. That's why no one was using that stop. Now they are. So it looks as though maybe we don't actually need this stop after all. I might leave it there though for now. Just curious to see what happens if I take it out. But I'll leave it there for now. Let's check in on our metro over here. Let's see how this one's doing. So let's see if we can find one of the platforms. We've got a few people waiting on this one here. Now here comes a whole wave of people. So it's not massively busy on that station. Let's check the next one along. Oh yeah, there's quite a few people using this one. And we've actually got a subway link here as well, as you can see. Which is providing a great transport link for people wanting to get into the main part of the city. Where are the trains? Where are the subway cars, the metro cars? Oh, there comes one. Loads of people getting off. Quite a few people swapping platforms. A lot of people using our underground subway. And where are they going? Looks like the vast majority of people are heading this way. This is towards our station, I believe. Yeah, not many people on that path, but a lot more here. And we've got some people coming up by the station, and we've got a lot more people coming up here by the tram hub. So once again, we're getting good links between our different transport systems. Let's move along a bit further to the next stop. And again, very busy heading into the city. We move over to here. We've got a mixture now. People heading in both directions. And if we zoom along to the next stop. Mainly just people going now out the other direction and then getting off just here. So this will be our final stop just here, our terminus. And just look how busy this one is. Just a constant stream of people. This stop is working really, really well with that underground footpath. And here you can just see just how busy the flow of people is using that underground footpath there. And then all coming up and just a sea of people over here. This is brilliant. So you can actually see we're getting just 245 people a week on our bus network, because our bus network is tiny. But our metro system, sorry, our tram network is using 1,941 people per week with 197 tourists. Our metro system that we've just kind of only just started putting in is already our biggest transport link with 1,956 people per week. We're getting 1,200 people on the trains, 40 odd people a week on the boats, 20 odd people a week using the planes, and an additional 44 with tourists as well, and then 20 to 30 odd people using taxis. But you can see just how many tourists are coming in as well. We're getting decent tourist numbers, considering we're still quite a small city. We've only got a population of what, 52,000? That's not that big, and we're bringing in nearly, well, over 800 people a week in tourism. That's pretty impressive, I think. We definitely seem to have some pretty decent transport links up and running. Just taking another look over here. Yeah, you can see this is definitely getting a lot more use now. Since we put that footpath in, most people are using it as expected, as intended, to jump straight onto this metro system. It's just, it wasn't working before, but I think it was just because we didn't have that little piece of footpath there. So, yeah, that seems to have really solved that issue. And if we head over here, you can see, oh, look at the size of that queue. You can just see now, we've got quite a big queue there of people waiting to get onto the trams. Really, really pleased to see that. I was seriously worried that something was, irredeemably broken with our tram network there. While I've got this up as well, I do want to see, are we getting trains shuttling between our two cargo hubs? Now, this should become more prominent as we move our industry further away from the centre of the city. So is this going to break off and hit the outside connection line, or is it actually going to cross over? No, it's just going to cross over. I haven't yet seen a train go from one of our cargo hubs to the other, which is a little disappointing. I know they can do that, but I haven't seen it happen yet. Let's just hang here for another second or two. And again, see, going back onto the outside exterior line. That, I think, is a commuter train just whizzing straight through there. Here's a freight train. Let's see where this one heads. It's going into our new industry point. Where does it go from here? Please come across. Nope, it's going back out onto the main line again. I've got another one coming through. And that one's exporting as well. So, yeah, disappointing. I was really hoping that we would actually get a shuttle service going on between our two freight links. But we've got a couple of trains going into each of our freight stations here. So I want to watch for these two to come back out. And maybe one of these 4 trains might be good for us. Oh, there we go. There we go. We actually have one shuttling goods. I did know that it could happen. I just haven't seen it happen on this map. And now we actually do have it. There we go. That's brilliant. So that's working exactly as intended. You know, the goods that we're producing in our area over here are now being transported along our link here so that they can then be picked up by commercial vehicles and delivered into our city without the need to clog up, certain other parts. So maybe we need to look at putting in another rail terminal, or maybe we need to put in a freight terminal somewhere over here. We've got our airport and we've got this area over here. Let's have a quick think about a rail connection. I don't really think we've got space for an external freight line. Although I could possibly bring one coming in around here, coming off, and then raise up over that. Oh, no, it's not going to go past the airport. That's right up against the edge. Alright, let's try just putting in a ship cargo hub instead then. Because I was thinking we could maybe go with one of these cargo hubs with a rail connection as well, but we don't really have a way of connecting up to our freight rail line. So we'll just go with a standard cargo harbour. So where can I squeeze this in? Don't really want to put it too close to that there. It's got to be on the coast, so it's going to have to be somewhere over here, I think. Yeah, I guess we don't really have much of a choice in that matter. If we want one over here, it's going to have to be sort of in this area. So let's plonk that down. See, oh yeah, it's made those people very unhappy. obviously they've got, got a cargo hub there that they didn't want right on their backyard. Let's try and connect this up road-wise. I just broke a housing connection there. What I might have to do is actually strip some of these out and turn them into offices. Let's do that actually. Let's replace some of these buildings around here with office. Let's face it, who's going to want to live right next to that cargo hub? Nobody. So we make some offices around this area. Provide some more sort of business options for people. And more employment. Maybe they won't grumble quite so loudly. Bit of a tall order, but you never know. Okay, so now we can put in a little bit more commercial around here, perhaps. There we go. And now what I want to do is make this little tram, not tram, sorry, this freight line. I'm thinking about making this one way. So let's go to upgrade. Pause for a second. You have to remember that we can't actually change this piece of road here. You can see this is still two-directional. We can't change that because it's attached to our cargo hub. But we can change the direction of all the roads that feed into it, like this. So we've got a nice little one-way piece coming in here, and then feeds around this way. The traffic just won't use that side piece just there. And they'll continue going in this way, they'll go in, they'll come out, feed back out this way, and off they go. That should hopefully work quite nicely. And also prevent major traffic queues, I think. Maybe. We'll see. It's going to tank the land value in this little section a little bit, though. That is unfortunately not something I can avoid. I do kind of need that connection just there, I think, just to help distribute some of our commercial goods around the city, which is really getting quite big now, considering it's only a 52,000 people population. You know, we've spaced out quite nicely in this zone. So this is going to be kind of like the next area, I think, for a really big built-up kind of city. Especially with our rail connection here, we could do something quite interesting with our rail line running along here like this. And then we've also got this space just here as well that we can expand into. I am curious about what we're going to do over here, but I do think something can be done quite nicely. So what I'm going to do is sort of add, this is just for a later time, it's not for right now, but it is something that we are going to need to do in the future, is we're going to actually just drop in a connection. So we're going to need to pause, we're going to need to take out sections of freeway. I'm not entirely sure how much freeway I'm going to need to take out. I guess we'll find out. Oops. You can actually raise those up and down as well. That's a kind of a clever idea, kind of a necessity, I suppose. And we want this connection sort of about here, I think. So I need to take out more on this side. like that. There we go. Now let's rebuild our connection along here. Just going to take this piece out and this piece out, because get my directions right. Let's go to straight. I'm going to put in the barriered pieces of road. We'll change these over in a moment as well. Let's upgrade this. There we go. And now we have a connection to feed an area over here, which can also then link down into the back of Madison Hill. So we can have possibly even a water connection down here. Let's just have a quick look. Is there going to be the opportunity to add another sort of water link over here? No, because we can't connect to the route. We're too far away from it. And that's outside of our buildable zone, so it's perhaps a bit of a shame. But we do have that that freeway connection just there now, which is good. Can't get over how busy our airport is. I'd like to add a second airport. I'm thinking maybe an international airport when we unlock it, which will be at 60,000. Have that somewhere down here, maybe on this corner. Right, this cemetery is finished emptying. There we go. I do love the new sunset or the new sunrise looks that we get with our city. I mean, that's such a beautiful kind of shot. Where the sun just washes over our city like that. It only lasts for a few seconds, and then we get this kind of just standard kind of lighting. But that initial kind of orangey glow that rises over our city, I just think it looks beautiful. It really does. Everything's working over here quite nicely. Got a really good steady flow of traffic coming in over here. I have been toying with the idea of upgrading these feeder roads to 3-lane as well, just to speed up some of the movement of that traffic. But it does seem to work quite well at the moment with them just being, 2-lane roads and slowing the traffic down a bit. You'll notice that, cars travel much slower when they're on traditional roads compared to slip roads or freeway. You can see instant the acceleration there. And it's nothing to do with the width of the road. I could put in a 6-lane road just here, and it would be exactly the same speed. It's, just freeway just makes everything move so much faster. And I kind of like the idea of everything kind of slowing down as they approach into the city. But I am a little worried that maybe things are bottling a little bit too much, or bottlenecking. Maybe we need to change the speed of things a little bit. I'm going to also upgrade this to 6-lane road and see if that makes a difference to our traffic, because it seems to be getting quite confused with itself at the moment. It's coming in from different points and then immediately switching over, and just it's all funneling into just 1 lane. Look, that seems very, very weird. Once again, we have completely ridiculous traffic AI. I really, really hope that we get to actually program our junctions independently when mass transit comes out, because this is just ridiculous. You got 3 lanes of traffic all feeding into just the centre lane. Why? Why does it keep doing this? Ugh. So frustrating. If it's just going to do that, we may as well just have single lane connection. If it's only ever going to use just one line of traffic, we may as well just do that. Although I do like the idea of potentially having a lane for emergency travel. Oh, they're just... Nah, it's because it's so short a line. They're all just sticking to the bus taxi line, which they're not supposed to anyway. Yeah, it doesn't do anything at all, look. It just... Once in a blue moon, we actually get a vehicle stay in the second lane, but all we're doing is essentially just doubling the amount of traffic that's coming in and all squeezing it into one line. Yeah, let's just go back to... Let's just go back to that. Very strange. I want to see what happens if I make this a double lane roundabout as well. Oh wow, that has a major impact on traffic flow. Yeah, that's not good. We need to roll that back. I kind of expected that would be the case, but immediately we start getting queues. So we'll leave that as a triple lane roundabout. I figured that would probably be the case. Traffic just seems to merge so much better on Freeway. There we go, and immediately we've got rid of that queue. So we no longer have issues getting workers over here. I've just noticed we no longer do we have people crying out for work in this section. Same over here. Those additions that we've made to the tram and the metro system have made a huge difference. Yeah, look how many people here using that tram line, and how many are using this one. There's a fair few people on that one as well. I was going to get rid of that line, but I think I might just keep it there now. No, I am going to get rid of it. Because it's... For the number of people that are using it, it's adding too long a diversion to our journey. So let's delete that line, or delete that stop. Hopefully not going to push all of these trams out of service, just one or two. Excellent. Now I can start to tear this back down again. Now that we know that people are definitely using our tram link, we don't need that extension over there, so we can actually increase the industrial bits back up again over here. Start getting some extra zoning going in, perhaps. It'll mean this will be a bit busier as well, but it'll be a much quicker route for our trams because we'll have less of a distance to travel. They won't have to sort of come round here, then go all the way down there, loop, and then go back, and then go like that. It's just one straight shuttle back and forth. So we should turn our trams over quicker, which means we should turn the passengers over quicker. In theory, that should work a lot better than before. And I just want to make sure now that we haven't completely knackered up all those people coming over. So we're getting a few people spitting out. Just waiting for that tram that's going to just dump a load of people. Maybe we have moved it a little bit too far away from those businesses over there. I guess we'll find out on this next route of people coming over the water. Where is the tram? Here it comes. So looking for a big number of people spitting out on this one. That's not too bad. It's a decent number of people. More on this one, perhaps. There's a few on that one. It does seem as though it's got a little bit quieter by taking that extra step out. Let me check. We are still getting people queuing over here. I suppose the queues aren't as big as well because we are servicing them quicker. So the queues aren't building up as much because the trams are getting through the route quicker. So maybe that's another reason why it doesn't look as though we're transporting it to quite so many people. Is because we're not getting these huge queues building up. We're now getting a much more regular service. Right, I think we need to start looking at our expansion over here. I definitely want that airport down here, so I don't want to overdo things too much. I definitely want to kind of plan ahead for that thing. So I need to figure out how we're going to bring our road network in. Now, I've got a choice. I could create kind of a ring road system, which is what I'm thinking of doing. It's just a question of how do I do that. So I'm thinking we bring this into a roundabout just about here, and then we bring the road around, have another sort of, off-ramp here, another off-ramp maybe sort of about here, and then loop back around here. We could maybe even have another off-ramp about here, loop back into that roundabout, and then feed back out that way. And we create a ring road that goes around our city, but keep it as freeway so that it's fast moving, and that will then hopefully keep people on that ring road. So what I need to do now is build a roundabout. So let's find one of our straight line edges. I'm going to pause for a second just while I get my straight line connection. Yeah, that's looking pretty straight. So there's my baseline. Let's take that piece out. So about here. I need to start building up. That's perfect. Take those out, build my straight line across here. And now I can try and build a custom roundabout coming off here, like this. So, this is where it's going to get interesting. Let's try and freeform this. Sometimes I really wish we had much better design options for actually being able to draw in roads than what we currently have. I want to try and create a grid network to make it a little bit easier to snap our roads. So there we go, that gives me a little grid box line to work with. I need to do something similar on the opposite side. Because these roads can't be here. like that. So there we go. I've got like a little bit of a grid work that I can snap into. What I'm also going to need to do is, let's see, so if I want to come across, it's about there, go down 2. I think I made that a little bit too big. Trying to think how this is going to work. This is going to be a triple lane road, so from here I want this to then split off. I'm trying to think, how do I want to do this in my head? Right, I'm going to pause for a second while I have a think about this. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so this is what I've kind of come up with. I've come up with this rather squared off kind of roundabout, but with large spaces. So initially I've got it like this, but I may possibly move those roads a little bit closer together so that I can flare the entrances a little bit. So let's take a look at doing that. I want to see just how close they look if we upgrade the roads. How much space do we have between? Yeah, we have scope to get those a little bit closer, I think. So let's kind of delete those pieces out. And we're going to plonk little connections back in again. Actually, no, I don't need to because we've got the connections there, just automatically snapping to them. So what I need to do now is move these in a little bit closer. So if I take this line up a bit, take that piece out, what I want is the line to move in one. Let's try doing it as just a straight longer piece. So it comes across there, so I want it actually to be here, like that. And then same on this side, if I take that piece out. So it comes down there, I want it to be here. Like that. So let's see, if I extend these out a bit. Oops. I should now be able to get these to look pretty good as freeway pieces next to each other. Yeah, that works. Okay, so now that we have our respaced roads, what we're going to do is take these sections out completely. I'm going to rebuild them like this, first of all. So I want to have a good distance for my feed-in point. So I want to create a wall of road just there like that. Take that piece out. It's not going to like that because it's a change of direction, so it's going to count them as two separate roads. So if I take that piece out completely and then just draw a straight line down, there we go, that'll solve that issue. So now what I want to do is I want to build my freeway all the way straight along to there, and then same again here. Well, obviously we'll change the directions once we're done, but now that I've got that, now I can freeform should. Need to take that little piece out there, I think. And possibly take that piece off as well. Why won't it let me freeform nicely up there? Okay, let's try doing it with just single lane road instead, or standard road. There we go. Now let's try upgrading those connections. Perfect. There we go. So we have a bit of a merge going on like that. So the road will then sort of give a slight... It could be better, I think. It could be a wider merge. That angle's a little bit too severe, I think, potentially. I don't know, I kind of like the flaring, but it's subtle, but I just think that maybe that's a little bit too extreme. You know, this is why I prefer, you know, I'd prefer it if we had the ability to turn off snap. Because as things stand, what I really want to do is kind of curve it round at an angle a bit more like that. Actually, that works. Alright, let's see if I can do the same on the opposite side. Hey, that looks pretty good. That looks a lot more like I was hoping to get. So, now let's see if I can upgrade those pieces. And it's not going to let me because of that connection, look. Alright, what about if I were to change this like that first? Now will it let me? It'll let me do that. Okay, I can kind of get away with going to a 2-lane road there. That kind of works. As long as it's one way, and I think it is. I can kind of live with that. Because that's not going to be used as a side road that often. The main point of this is to funnel traffic that way. And then we'll probably have something similar over here. And then something over here as well. So we'll have all these different funnels. So now that we've got that built, all that remains is to kind of go ahead and start planning out where it's going to occupy the rest of the space around here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and hopefully... Actually, I wonder if our airport could fit just in that block there. I suppose we won't know until we get it. If we can get the airport in this block on the other side of the river, that'd be really good, I think. So... that's it for another episode. I'm going to have a play about with creating our little road network over here, and when you come back we should have something that resembles quite a nice little ring road that runs around here. So thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I will catch you all again with some more City Skylines Snowfall very soon.